Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. So they actually released some new footage for part 3, so I want to talk about that in here because there's some pretty big reveals in that. And I was also just thinking about that, like in terms of their trailers, at least lately, they actually do reveal, quite a bit of stuff. So this is pretty much the amount of footage we're going to have until, mid-July. So for another 3 months now, right? Until Comic-Con where they release that full 2.5 minute trailer. And man, I'm so excited for that trailer because they are going to reveal a lot of stuff. And now really we're at the point where we just, we're going into the very final 8. So here we go, right? Everyone's caught up. Now we're going straight into the final 8 episodes here. And by the way, on Twitter, I was just kidding when I said I wonder when they're going to be dropping any footage for part 3. I was kidding when I posted that just because everyone was tagging me right away. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess something dropped. So I just it was a joke. Anyways, before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. And also I apologize for not uploading for the last couple of days. I had family over and stuff. It was my mom's 50th. So we were doing a bunch of stuff like that. And there's some celebrating parties and stuff and my family over today. I actually just dropped off my brothers at home. And then, basically when I got home, 20 minutes before that, they dropped that trailer. So that's when I started to record and then do this and all that. So yeah, I'm going to do this now. Obviously, we'll get into it right away. But I'm also going to be doing a review for Dead in the Water tomorrow. I have a lot of Walking Dead videos planned. I have a lot of stuff that I didn't get to, actually. I was supposed to do one for Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So I'm going to go and do all of that, starting tomorrow and Tuesday. Anything else that drops as well for the part 3, obviously I will be talking about over the next couple of days because now's a time where things are going to slowly start to drop, right? We're also gearing up for Fear the Walking Dead next weekend and the return of Madison, so that's going to be really big. And we also have Dead in the Water. If you haven't watched Dead in the Water yet, I haven't watched it, but based off of what I'm seeing online, people are really loving it. So yeah, just expect a review for that tomorrow. I just want to let you guys know because I've been getting a lot of comments and like requests for that. Like, am I posting a review? Did I see it? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I haven't seen it yet, but I will be posting a review tomorrow. But anyways, let's actually get into the part 3 trailer here. So yeah, I mean, first of all, I was absolutely shocked by seeing this trailer. The trailer when I first saw it was, I have to compare it, like honestly, I have to compare it to the part 2 trailer that they released because it was like 30 seconds long. What we got in that was really from the first couple of episodes. And then when we got that actual trailer, like the full 2-minute trailer, whatever the hell that was in January, February, like there was a lot in there. There was so much in that trailer that I was like, okay, this recontextualizes everything. So, as soon as that actual part 3 trailer drops, it's going to give us a lot more, but this trailer right here, I think is enough for us for a bit because of so many of the bigger reveals. First of all, we do see a Walker Horde here. So this Walker Horde is actually going towards the Commonwealth. This will play a role in the overall story here and sort of this, in terms of like the final showdown, like I think in the comic, it might happen 2 times, or it's like maybe a part of a horde that they encounter at one point and then later on they encounter the rest of it. I don't know, but I think ending The Walking Dead like this, I think is smart. You want to have walkers a big part of the final part of the story, right? You go to the next shot here and we do actually see the Commonwealth. They're looking around this area and I'm assuming they're looking for Daryl and Maggie. And the big question we had was, where are they going now, right? Like Daryl and Maggie are wanted, so where are they going? Well, it seems like they're going straight for the Commonwealth. I think they're going to go there and try to sneak in. They have a plan on where to go, and so that's where they're trying to go right now, is they're going to try and sneak in to save their family and get the hell out, right? I just love this shot. Like, honestly, I absolutely love this shot because this really shows that we are in this state now. Like, this is the state of just everything with our characters, right? They're wanted, they're in a very stressful situation, but I kind of like how everything, how it came to this point, right? It's not like they're encountering one threat after another and they're bouncing around. I can see how at certain points it could feel like that because, if you want a show to survive like this and you want it to go on, like, it kind of, you need a new threat here and there, right? But I like how the Commonwealth was introduced because it's more of a full circle thing, right? It's like, we have a big community here. You guys can join us. And they actually do join because they're in a situation where they're like, we can't live here anymore. We have no more food or resources to literally keep this place alive. And then they join this community and everything's going good. But then, in a way of like trying to keep the peace and stuff, there's some complexity with that in terms of what certain people want, like with Maggie and all that. And you get a lot of conflict here. But I like the fact that it doesn't really feel like we have like a big villain, right? Like, it's not like we have this villain like Alpha or Negan. The villain really is just, we don't want to screw people over, right? Like, we want people to live fairly. We don't want to hurt people. And the way that we're living there, Sebastian's hurting people. And so it's just kind of like trying to make the world a better place in that sense. It's really like a full circle moment, honestly. It's really like all of this is a full circle moment, going back to the season 1 of the show. You do see this thing here and it says this fall. So that confirms right there that the show is returning in October, which I'm very happy about because The Walking Dead in October is just so perfect. And so, I'm going to enjoy the summer. I'm going to enjoy reviewing Talking Dead Tales of the Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead and like obviously the trailers and stuff at Comic-Con. But man, this fall, it's going to be amazing. And I really can't wait for the end of November to watch that final episode, to get all that stuff in terms of like, oh, this thing's happening here with the Rick thing or this and that, all those announcements afterwards. And then we end The Walking Dead basically right in time for like, I guess, US Thanksgiving. And then it's like Christmas season. And then it's just like, we start a new year in 2023 with like the spinoffs and the future of the show, right? So to me, fall is perfect. I felt so off last year to air it in the summer. I think everyone felt so off. I think a lot of people didn't even care to watch it because it was in the summer. It felt so weird. The Walking Dead airs in the fall. And I really think the reason why AMC did that was mostly because before that, it was like a year and a half without any Walking Dead content, basically, right? Or from the show anyways. We got that one episode and the bonus ones, but still. We then have this shot here of Carol. She has a knife out. And then there's, I believe her name is Shira. She was the fake Stephanie. So she's still around. There's protests right now in the streets. She seems really worried at this point. There's actually some shots of her with that other guy that was a part of Lance's group, and they're walking through the crowd, and there's protesting and stuff. And yeah, I think they seem very worried. I think they're actually worried for their lives here. And so a shot like this with Carol, she's holding a knife. This is really interesting. I wouldn't put it past Carol to be the one that kills Shira. Like, I really wouldn't. It makes sense. She's going to get closer to the storyline here because she has a closer relationship with Lance. So I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. We have a shot here with Mercer, and Mercer's actually interrogating Negan. And I think this is so perfect. And it seems like the narrative here is they sent him in for, I guess, to be interviewed and maybe to make some sort of deal and say like, we'll leave you alone, or we'll do this or something if you give all of our people back. I'm just guessing, but they clearly have a plan here, right? Like Maggie sent Negan in, and yeah, they clearly have a plan. And I think this is where it's going to go very interesting, right? Because Lance, I think he thinks that, Mercer is going to be on his side. But, at this point, it's a little interesting that Mercer's, interviewing him, because Mercer's the one who's about to switch sides. Like at any moment now, he's like, I'm done. And so I actually do wonder if they're going to hold off on this a little bit here and use Mercer as more of a secret weapon, right? Like he's not going to come right out and basically Mercer is going to be Dwight. Like he's going to be helping out our group, but also acting like he's not. So I think the fact that he's talking with Negan here is actually pretty amazing, because I think whatever their plan is here, I think it's actually going to go really well because he's talking with Mercer, which I'm really excited, because hopefully that means that, Negan's actually going to be talking with Sebastian very soon, because if he's at the Commonwealth, it makes sense that those scenes are probably going to be happening. We then have a shot here of Ezekiel and Princess getting arrested. So yeah, that's related to the protests and stuff. We have Eugene and Rosita. They're also terrified for their lives because, yeah, this is scary. Trying to take down Pamela Milton and all that, a big force like that, it's going to result in some really scary things happening. And yeah, this just seems really scary. And that's the thing about this trailer. Is this from the last episode? Is this from the 5th or 6th last episode? We have no idea. Like, we actually have no idea, because when they release stuff, it is pretty random. Their trailer for part 2 had footage from episode 16. So some of the footage in here could actually be from the final episode. And then we have the shot that everyone's talking about here, and that's the shot with Daryl holding Rick's gun. Now, obviously this is teasing, some Rick stuff. Like, first of all, I do think it's amazing if Daryl uses that gun, because it's a way to keep that spirit alive. And Daryl or Rick has to get his gun at some point, right, in the movies. And I think if Daryl's going to go after Rick, it makes sense that he would have the gun and he would just like return the gun back to Rick. I could totally see that happening. But this is definitely teasing some Rick stuff. Like, this is teasing that he's going to find out he's alive, right? Like that. I think that's like, are we going to see Rick in the final episode? Probably not. I think a lot of people are really expecting that. I don't see that happening. The most they can do, and it actually makes sense because they have the spinoffs, is that they find out he's alive, and so they got to go out there and look for him, right? That's nothing too crazy. That is something that is totally in their control. They just find out proof somehow Rick's alive. What? You get those crazy emotional scenes. And then it's just, okay, now we got to go and find him. And then that just adds a whole other thing for the spinoffs. And that, I think that is going to be what it's going to be. They might have a little Rick teaser. They might have something there or whatever. Maybe Andrew Lincoln already filmed something. But like for the most part, that is going to be what it's going to be. And, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do in those spinoffs in terms of how they handle a lot of that Rick stuff and just the overall discussion of Rick. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating because imagine they don't find out anything about Rick. Then why do the spinoffs? And then what? They find out something about Rick in those spinoffs? I don't know how long you can hold off that information. I think they need to find out here in the show. To hold off until the spinoffs, I think people are going to get way too frustrated because that's just, it's way too much. And yeah, anyways, that's going a little too far ahead. I mean, we literally just wrapped up part 2, so we'll just wait. At this point, I'm so confident that they're going to find out that Rick's alive. I don't think we're going to see Rick. So I know there's a lot of people, disappointed about that, but I think that the revelation that, he is, just think about it. Judith knows right now. Literally, Judith knows. So, you got to end it in some way Rick focused. That's the one thing they're going to do for sure. But then we get to the final shot here and we do see Lance holding the coin. He's covered in blood. And I believe the exact thing he says here, hold on, I actually typed it up. I can't remember. It's always a way out or something like that. He's holding that bloody coin. And this just raised the question of, is Oceanside slaughtered? Because yeah, if Oceanside is slaughtered, that is brutal. But yeah, you could definitely do that. Who really cares about Oceanside at this point? They've literally haven't been a thing at all this season. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.